Alrighty. Hello guys, it is Faith here, and today I will be doing what if Naruto left Konoha for Kiri. And I will go back to saying Naruto instead of Naruto because I've been listening to my own what ifs, and I don't know, it sounds annoying just saying Naruto. So I'm going to say Naruto. So, Chapter 5, Finished Product, The Life of a Kiri Ninja. Kirigakure, Council Chambers. Mizukage-sama, now that we have brought ourselves out of this economic slump that was caused from the chaos of Yagura's reign and the massacres, isn't it time we started making treaties with other villages? Surely it would be to our advantage. The council was in deliberation over its future of Kirigakure. It had taken most of the day, and May was wondering if it would ever end. It would hardly affect an island nation such as ours. Our potential enemies are kept at arm's length, but so are allies we might gain. The minor treaties with Sea and Wave are plenty enough for now. Our economy is better than it has ever been since we expanded our monopoly over sea trade. Our ninja population has also increased since the end of the Bloody Mist graduation exam. I see no reason to make alliances with any of the elemental nations. We'll bide our time for now. The counselors sighed, but did not argue further. The Mizukage was a very stubborn yet clever woman. I believe this discussion is over. Moving on, I would like to know how our... Okay, I'm going to say something different though. I believe this discussion is over. Moving on, I would like to know about our village's most important or how our village's most important investment is doing. Kyo asked the Mizukage, and she growled in response. Naruto Koi is not a damn investment. He is a human being. No matter how many times I warn you, all you see him as is an investment. In fact, everything has to have some means to an end with Yukio, and it needs to stop. Naruto Koi has come a long way in the 2 years since he has arrived. His accomplishments are lauded amongst the ninja corps. Becoming Jonin at age 16, achieving swordsman status, perfecting his Kekkei Genkai and Jinchuriki abilities in record time, and even being requested to be an official member of the Hunter Nin Corps. Kyo's smirk faded, taking a scowl instead, not to mention creating a boiling pot of lava for a relationship with Konoha and seducing the Mizukage herself. Kyo was ripped from his chair and by the Mizukage. Two ambu guards poised to strike at his vital spots upon her order. She gave a look of pure rage at the ex-shinobi. How dare you! I have put up with your insolence for far too long. You have spoken out of line and insulted me personally. Ambu, take him away for interrogation, pending military trial. Kyo's eyes widened. Military trial? What? Uh, what? You can no longer try me as a ninja? I've retired. The Mizukage smirked, brandishing a pencil and a document from thin air. She quickly signed it and stamped it with the official Mizukage stamp and held it to his face. You now have been officially reinstated as a shinobi of Kiri. Congratulations. Now, Anbu, please take this foolish man away from me and these chambers before I melt him. The two-masked shinobi saluted and dragged the man away, frightening the remaining councilmen into silence. This meeting is adjourned. I will retire to my estate now. The Mizukage placed her Kage hat back on and walked slowly to the wooden doors, hoping to get as far away as possible. The remaining councilmen stood and bowed to the Kage. Yes, Mizukage-sama. They left upon her exit, dreading her and her dangerous personality, wondering if Yagura was any worse. May walked the streets of Kiri, observing her people that she had sworn to protect, living out their normal lives, free from danger. Their smiling faces and prosperous attitude were what allowed May to continue her job as Mizukage, the thing that kept her working all day. Her thoughts drifted to Naruto. The blonde genin, now Jonin, had warmed her heart since his arrival 2.5 years ago. The relationship had started with them becoming friends, then teacher and student, now boyfriend and girlfriend. May could not contain her joy when he was around. She had yet to broach the I am Uzumaki subject with Naruto. She was afraid of his reaction to them being distant cousins of one another. May also feared that Naruto would no longer trust her, feeling betrayed at just how deep of knowledge and connection she really did have with the Uzumaki. So she had kept her secret. As Naruto grew older, so did his curiosity, and she feared that he would learn of her secret on his own. Something that would be even worse. I promised to tell him after he comes home from his mission. He should arrive by the end of the day. Hurry home, Naruto-kun. We have much to discuss. Unnamed Kiri Aizel. Isle, forest. Hunter 1, in position, a figure hid behind a tree, holding a hand up to his ear and speaking to a small communicator. He wore a Kiri Hunter Nin mask. The other markings were two blue fangs that, that started at the top of the mask and enveloped the draw-on eyes. The four waves of Kiri had their place on the mask's forehead, and the only way to identify the man's features was his bright blonde hair. He wore a standard Kiri battle armor, a single chest piece that had shoulder guards and a lower torso extension to cover his groin, all gray black in color. His weapon was easily the thing that stood out the most, a large two-ended blade that attached to his waist via a belt that went across his chest. As most shinobi carried, um, he had a kunai pouch attached to his thigh and a hip pouch as well, both connected to black Ombu standard pants. Further down, he wore black sandals and gray leggings, and dark gray. Well, oh no, he wore black sandals with dark gray leggings that extended from his sandal toes to halfway up his lower leg. He also wore a black long sleeve shirt with gray gloves extending from his entire forearm to past his knuckles. My description of okay, no, this doesn't matter. Oh, actually, it kind of does. So this is just like a small author note or whatever. My description of Kiri Ambu seen in most recent Shippuden 6 Tales filler arc. Rogue Hunter 1, Roger Hunter 1, Hunter 2, 3, and 4 are all standing by, awaiting your order. The man silently nodded to himself, observing his quarry that, that he and his squad had stalked for the past few days. The older man, somewhere in his 40s, wore prisoner garb with black and white stripes lined his ripped garments. Looked for deceiving to his haggard reflection, though the man was a B-rank missing man, newly awarded the title after escaping from prisoner transfer ship off the island coast. The hunter had been sent out as soon as word was received from the survivors of the vessel, and the squad requested a swordsman to lead them. They chose Naruto Uzumaki, the newest addition to the Seven Swordsmen. Naruto went over his prey's strength and weakness, analyzing the tactics he would use in the coming battle with the Kiri escapee. This man's name is Riko Utsuki, B-rank missing nin of Kiri, a pure ninjutsu specialist. He is lauded for the possession of two nature elements, fire and wind. Special techniques are largely unknown. Taijutsu is average, and Genjutsu is abysmal. Just my kind of guy. Let's do this. Hunter 2, stand by for Kiri-same. Hunter 3 and 4, keep distance and observe. Cut off escape routes and prevent targets from leaving the zone. Naruto heard from his communicator the choice of Rogers for his plan. The trap was set. Now Naruto just had to defeat the man himself. Naruto held up the ram sign and disappeared in a whirlpool vortex water, appearing behind a walking man, hand on the hilt of his broadsword. Riko Utsuki, you are under arrest for over 20 criminal acts committed in Kiri. The time has come for you to now pay for your crimes. The man froze immediately, slowly turning to see his worst nightmare, a hunter nin. Worse yet, he saw the man's large sword and remembered the horror stories of the swordsman organization. Something he didn't want to experience. Damn it, I was hoping it would take you a bit longer to find me. Naruto held his ground, staring down at the panicking man. We both know I won't surrender. I have no chance if I go back to Kiri, so I'll have to defeat you. The man began to form the hand sign for a fire jutsu, and Naruto clicked his communicator once, the signal for Hunter 2. The hunter ninja in question stood away from two combatants in the forest, silently listening to the dialogue up until now. He had received the awaited signals and formed the three hand signs for the Kirin Hunter Nin Hidden Jutsu, whispering its name under his breath. Hidden Jutsu, Kirisame. Rain began to fall in the surrounding area, but the unnatural feel of wet substance that was littered with chakra tipped off any high-ranking or well-informed Kirinin of a jutsu of some sort. Riko, however, was too engrossed in watching Naruto that he did not mind the rain, thinking it's a natural phenomenon. Grand Fireball. The criminal held up his hand to his mouth, expelling a fireball straight at his enemy, but his eyes widened when he saw the attack gradually dissipate in midair. Wait, even if this is water jutsu, it shouldn't be powerful enough to, damn it, a trap. Looks like you've figured out the jutsu a little too late, Riko-san. Naruto had body flickered behind the man, his sword edged on the man's throat. Damn, how the hell did the man was cut off when Naruto finished his mission, slicing through his man's throat with practice precision and without hesitation. His fellow hunters walked out the small clearing, glad to see their leader able to handle the shinobi so well. The body fell on the ground, blood pouring out of the neck artery that Naruto had severed purposely. He turned to his subordinates, each looking at him for their future orders, totally unaffected by the sight of death. Finish up here. Standard procedure. Meet at the rendezvous. I don't know. Rendezvous. That's in French. In 5 minutes, we will head for home. Don't mind that. I just sneezed. I blessed myself. The three other hunters saluted and went to the body, beginning the usual process of taking the head as proof of death and destroying what was left. Naruto leapt into the trees and exfiltration continued to the exfiltration point, the eastern beach side of the uninhabited island. From there, his squad would move to Kiri, arriving no later than 8 p.m. Holy shit! I got a stuffed nose. I hate it. Naruto arrived at the beach, finding it undisturbed and exactly as it looked when they arrived. Peaceful, quiet, and serene. No one would know that an important hunter nin assignment was done here. The only proof would be some scorched grass from the body's cremation. Naruto leapt into the water, standing on top of this shifting surface, and sunk his blade into the salty liquid, washing away the red life source soaked on the blade. Another criminal downed. Chalk another one up for the Uzumaki. The guys back at Anbu HQ are going to freak when I tally another one to my score. Since Naruto's introduction to Hunter Nin's corpse, he found the job to be very challenging and fun as far as ninja roles go. But he was always brought down by the monotonous, dreary atmosphere. All the other hunters were business, stoic and unemotional, but Naruto didn't feel like that one bit. So he was influenced by his fellow shinobi into having more fun. Back at the base, they had a giant chalkboard that was each hunter's name and tally of how many enemies they had taken down. And Naruto had been rising up the ranks quickly. All the old veterans went along the idea since they got to tally their pre-existing scores, but were shocked at the blonde's tenacity at his work. He was easily catching up to their number. Naruto invented the word fun and brotherhood with the hunters, and every visit to Ichu was relaxed and left everyone lighthearted when they returned home from a long day of work. Sir, Naruto turned to his subordinates has finished their task. A sealing scroll containing the head put away for further processing in Kiri. Naruto gave a silent nod and motioned them with a hand to move out. And in a blur, all four shinobis were gone. Mission accomplished. Kirigakure, Terumi Estate. May paced back and forth in the Terumi family room, anxiously awaiting the arrival of her housemate and boyfriend, Naruto Uzumaki. She was attempting to psych herself for the upcoming conversation that would reveal her so far hidden heritage of being an Uzumaki, and she was failing miserably. What if he hates me forever? What if he can't forgive me for keeping this from him? Damn it, he revealed to me so much. He revealed to me being a damn Jinchuriki, containing the most powerful being in existence, and I can't even tell my last name. I'm such an idiot. Her pacing her pacing stopped when she felt strong arms wrap around her waist and a warm breath wash against the back of her neck, making her shiver in delight. May automatically fell back into Figure's arms, already knowing her love scent, and feel against her skin. Her Naruto was home. Mayheim, I'm home, Naruto whispered into her ear, long since patting away long since putting away his hunter equipment and gear, now wearing a form-fitting black bodysuit that he often wore around the house. Naruto Koi, I'm glad you're home. How's your mission? She already knew the answer. Naruto was very dedicated to any task he was given. He would not have come home if the mission was incomplete. It went fine, no casualty, and Kiri has one less criminal to worry about. Naruto moved his hand up and down Mei's firm stomach, making her skin tingle from contact. She still wore her blue dress over her fishnet bodysuit, too worried to remember to take off the garment. That's great, you're a wonderful ninja, Naruto. Kira is truly blessed with your presence. I know I am. May love this. May love this, just being with the man she loved and being able to talk so easily. It was as if there was nothing else happening in the world. Well, let's thank Kami for the Uzumaki clan and their bloodline, or else I might never have came to Kiri or met you, Mayheim. May found at this, once again reminded of the Uzumaki. She gently pushed herself away from Naruto and led him over to the couch, urging him to sit down with her. He was confused but did as May asked, sitting next to Mizukage, holding onto both her hands, both in comforting and inquisitive gesture. May, what is the matter? The redhead looked at their hands, finding what courage she could muster in the fact that they had that oh my god, I can't talk. In the fact of how much they had been together, how they, how much love they had shared. Please, Naruto, Koi, forgive me. Naruto, I have something I have to tell you about. Naruto looked at her with curious gaze, wondering what could be the matter that would have her so nervous. He silently pushed her on, anxious to hear the news. May gulped and let go of her inhibition, laying all out on the table. My name is Mei Uzumaki, and I am a pure blood just like you. I'm a survivor of the Uzumaki clan dissolution. I'm your distant cousin, Naruto Koi. May moved her hands to her face, ashamed that she was crying and um attempting to hide from what was surely Naruto's shocked and disgust face towards her. I'm such a fool. He can never forgive me for this. This is Her inner ranting was stopped when she felt her hands being gently removed from her face. She felt her face flutter when Naruto's lips met her own in a soft kiss. This is fucking weird. Hello? Incest? I don't know. It's probably something normal in the ninja world. It was his way of reassuring her that everything was alright and that there was no hard feelings from him. He broke the kiss, leaving May with a happy but curious face. Naruto smiled softly and stroked her cheek. But why? May whispered, not understanding his peculiar reaction. Naruto kept smiling, inwardly laughing at his May and her actions. From the past few years of him living in Kiri, Naruto had always had his theories and ideas on them, and how they were linked, and her revealing to him being Uzumaki wasn't a big surprise. In fact, he had been expecting May to reveal her secret to him for some time now, allowing her um, to take the first step. Mayheim, I had my assumption for some time now that we were related. I'd just been waiting for you to say it. In a way, even before I knew for sure, um, what there was always this voice in the back of my head telling me that you and I were linked more than coincidence. May gasped. Had he May he had known. Holy crap, can't talk. And you're not angry? Naruto just shook his head. Any feelings of anger or disappointment vanished a long time ago. It was evident she regretted keeping it from him for all the time, and that was proof enough. May's tears increased to their zenith as she tackled her love, forcing him onto his back against her leather blue couch. Not crotch, couch. She sobbed onto his chest, chanting thank you over and over again, making Bond smile as he petted her back, moving his hand through her hair sensually. Sensuously. Sure, let's go to bed now, May. Or, sure, let's go to bed. Shh, let's go to bed now, May. We both have had a long day and it's late at night. We need a rest. May nodded against his broad chest and felt herself being lifted up. Naruto held her bridal style, making her blush a bit. He walked through the estate lobby, right up the stairs, and went straight for May's room, closing the door behind him. He laid her down onto the large double bed that they both shared at night. His blue silk sheets held the Kiri symbol in the middle. He went to the zipper on her dress and began to unzip it, knowing how much his Haim loved to sleep in her bodysuit, often for forging her own nightgown since she had began to sleep with Naruto. She freely allowed him to strip her outfit from herself, dressing Naruto completely. It wasn't like he hadn't seen anything that her fishnets revealed. They had made sorry, they had made love many times before, even every time better than the last one as far as May was concerned. Tonight though, she was too tired and felt Naruto was as well. She felt that her zipper was fully undone. Her love pulled the blue one piece down her body, folding it neatly and putting it away for washing. So gentle, Naruto Koi. I'm so happy that you understood. May moved herself, so she was now under his blanket, waiting for his man to join her impatiently. She loved it when he would hold her close at night. You would never guess, from his chiseled physique, but Naruto's shoulder and chest made for great pillows. Naruto pulled himself into his bed, directly behind May, making her flip over to face him. They looked into each other's eyes, with what could only be described as love before they met in a soft, passionate kiss that left them satisfied of their lover's taste. Mei moved herself one last time to get comfortable, opting to rest on Naruto's warm chest, his rhythmic heartbeat and steady breathing to lull her to sleep. Naruto hooked an arm around Mei's torso, laying himself onto the pair of soft pillows, silently enjoying the feeling of being in bed with the one he loves. He looked down at her with with his mind forming a final question before they slept. May, I just have one question. May sleepily looked at him, her eyes already drooping from exhaustion. What would you like me to call you? May Terumi or May Uzumaki? She smiled at him, softly stroking his chest with her free hand. As far as I'm concerned, you may call me May Uzumaki, because I don't plan on leaving you anytime soon, Naruto Koi. With you, I actually feel proud to wear the Uzumaki name, because I believe in you and your dream. I know you'll accomplish it someday. Naruto smiled at her, happy that she believed in his dream of bringing the Uzumaki back. Well then, May Uzumaki, I guess I just have to marry you then. Mei shot up straight and looked at Naruto with wide eyes. Marriage? Her sleepiness forgotten. She gripped his suit tightly, threatening to tear it. Marriage? Would you really mean that, Naruto Koi? Her hands were trembling, afraid of and anxious of the answer from the blonde Jonin. If you'd like to be my wife, and only if. I won't force you into anything you're ready for. I just knew that the moment I fell in love with you, I wanted to be with you for as long as I live. No other woman, Uzumaki or not, can fill my heart with the warmth and care like you do, May. And I think Naruto was stopped from talking by May's lips, covering his own, ending his well thought out "I love you" until the end of time speech. May broke the passion-induced kiss and looked at his surprised face, giggling at him. Oh, be quiet! Oh, be quiet, you silly man. We love each other for, for more than most will ever love anything. You don't need to make a speech. My name might not change, but marriage is still a big step. One that I'm willing to take if it is with you. My Naruto, I love you. Naruto's eyes began to tear along with Mei as he held her close, kissing her once more. I love you too, Mei. You you have made the happiest Uzumaki man. Mei smirked into the kiss, actually feeling relieved, called herself Mei Uzumaki again. As they slowly fell asleep together in bed, Mei and Naruto's thoughts drifted to their respective parents, remembering their parents' wishes and hope for their children. I did it, Mom. I found my Uzumaki girl. I'm so happy. Mother, Father, I finally found the little Uzumaki boy you asked me to look out for. I feel like I'm finally home, where I should be, where I belong. The Uzumaki couple fell asleep with smiles on eyes. The feeling of being engaged too elating for them. It was a joyous occasion that would be celebrated for generations to come. Konoha, Hokage office. Jiraiya, I have been forced to recognize Naruto. Yeah, Naruto as a missing nin. What can we do? The civilians celebrate his death, and all ninjas except his graduating class are making bets on who will collect his bounty first. This is madness. Tsunade voiced her overwhelming concerns to the newly arrived Jiraiya. He had spent the past 2 years on Naruto's training trip, exploring the world for him, attempting to become even stronger. Even if he had a long path of, even if he was long past his golden years. I don't know, Tsunade Heim. How have the rest of the rookies taken his leaving? Tsunade looked out the window, a frown on her face. Sakura, I fear, will never be the same. She felt the betrayal that she felt from Sasuke's leave all over again with Naruto. She hadn't trusted another soul since. Even throughout my training, she was almost completely unresponsive. The rest of their own, the rest have their own ways of dealing with it. Konohamaru had put himself extremely hard to prove to Naruto that he was worthy of Sarutobi, foolishly believing that if he becomes powerful enough, Naruto will come back. Jiraiya sighed. Naruto's leave had a big impact on Konoha, for far for worse, much more than better. I hope you're happy and curing Naruto because everyone else suffered for it. During the 2 year trip, Jiraiya's contact followed up more through. This grammar is incorrect, but okay. More Oh no, thorough reports on the island nation, and discovered that Naruto indeed lived there, as a Kira ninja. While Jiraiya didn't know the extent of his training or why he was there, he knew that Naruto would not be coming back to Konoha. But he didn't tell Tsunade. It would be too much for her to bear. Tsunade-sama. The Sanin turned to the ninja, and the code Deceiver Division burst through the door, holding a message from what appeared to be Suna. Okay, that was a scream, and I did not do a scream. I'm sorry. Tsunade-sama. Urgent message has been received from Suna. Tsunade took the scroll and read it, her eyes widening and um, a scowl growling on her face. She set the scroll down and summoned Shizune. Shizune, get Kakashi Squad here, now! Jirai picked up the scroll and read it for himself. The Kazekage had been captured, and by the Akatsuki no less. This was trouble. The Kazekage had been captured, Jiraiya. You know more than anyone about the Akatsuki. Will you accompany Kakashi's squad? The white-haired man nodded, believing himself up to the task. We'll leave as soon as Kakashi's squad is ready. Kirigakure, Mizukage's feet. 3 days before Konoha receives distress signal. Mizukage-sama, we have received a priority message from our observers in River Country. May looked up from her paperwork to see a messenger name. One that looked to be out of breath. Must be pretty important, she thought to herself. I just added that. That's not really in. Alright, let's take a look. May took the report from the man, reading the message, and her eyes widened a bit in surprise. So, Akatsuki has a hideout in River Country, and the agents there have been seen moving for Suna. But why? May's eyes widened. This suddenly got a lot more serious than she had first thought. She flared her chakra, and Anambu stood before her immediately, kneeling before her. Get me Naruto Uzumaki. I don't care what he's doing. A priority message on the Kazekage has arrived. The envoy saluted and went straight to the envoy headquarters, the last known location of the bond. This isn't good. If Akatsuki is on the move, we cannot allow them to take the one-tailed. I need Naruto's counsel. He has to help me figure out what to do. Yes, Mizukage-sama. May looked up to see a fully outfitted Naruto in his hunter gear, hand on the table, anxiously waiting for the news. She sighed and handed him a report, his expression unreadable through his mask, but it is surely of surprise. No, they're already on the move. Naruto asked himself, I don't know how to say that word. Rhetorically, rhetorical questions. I don't know how to say that. Rhetorically, I don't know. Not wanting to believe his friend Gara had been captured, or soon to be. He looked into May's eyes, seeing the indecision and conflict that mirrored his own. We have to do something. We have to stop Akatsuki before they can get a foothold like this. Naruto proclaimed, letting go of his complicate and replacing it with anger and hate for the organization that had made his difficult life even worse. May got up from her seat and walked around the desk. She enveloped her finance in her arms, calming him down considerably. Fiance, not financed. Fiance in her arms, calming him down considerably. Naruto let out a deep breath and held her arms with his own, trying his best to figure out a plan. I know that we have to do something, but what, Naruto? We are easily the worst nation positioned to do anything about it, and it might take too long to get a squad there anyway. May hope that she could. I blessed myself again. May hope that she could dissoon the day. I don't know what that word is. Naruto from what she thought he would do, but she was gravely mistaken. Naruto nodded his head in agreement from her analysis, but disagreed that it was impossible. A squad might not get through, but a ninja formerly a fire could get past their patrol alone. May gasped at his implication. He couldn't go alone. No, if they capture you, then you'll be executed, or worse. Executed or worse. I will not allow that to happen. I will not lose my fiance just because he has to go rescue a friend. Naruto silently shook his head over May's protectiveness. She could be so cute and stubborn. Naruto is easily one of the most powerful ninja in Kiri, and probably the best one to be able to run the gauntlet of crossing Fire Nation undetected. Although he would agree that it would be dangerous and very costly if he were to be encountered and possibly captured for both countries, it would be even more costly if Akatsuki won in their plan of capturing Biju. But May, I promised to help him. He was my first true friend. Please, I need to do this. And I already have a surefire plan on how to get through, even if I encounter Konoha Shinobi. May looked curiously at him. She was being held in his arm tightly, as if to reassure her everything was fine. Oh, and what would be your excellent plan, Naruto Koi? Naruto smirked under his mask. Oh, I was thinking something like transformation, change my facial features. And if anyone asks, I can just say I'm hunting an important criminal as a hunter nin. May thought about it. May thought about it. It was technically sound, as long as no one could recognize him. Simple yet practically foolproof. But what if there is a complication? And I'll even and I'll oh, simple yet practically foolproof. But what if there is a complication? And I'll even throw something else into the deal to sweeten the deal. Just to reassure you, Mayheim. Naruto took off one of his gloves and moved his bare hand over May's revealed skin on her neck. Though she didn't understand what he was trying to do, Naruto-koi? Naruto just smiled and pointed to the area of the right side of her head, close to her right shoulder. Naruto had planted some sort of seal onto her, a very complex looking one that May couldn't begin to understand. That, Naruto pointed seal, is the integral part of the Hiroshin that allows me to teleport from place to place effortlessly. Now now that I have planted it on you, I can come back to you faster than you could take Mizukage. Although the distance between river and water is too far for just one jump, if I plant these seals at the occasional tree or landmark, well, you get the idea. May was astounded at the practicality. If Naruto wanted to, he could plot seals like this all over the continent and reach any location in a matter of minutes. I still don't like you going out alone, May warned him, burying herself into his chest, his hand moving through her hair in a comforting manner. So soft, it smelled like ocean shore. Believe me, Mayheim, if I could figure out how to teleport others along with me, I would bring a whole squad as backup, but I can't. They would just slow me down if we tried to get through conventional methods, and would increase our chances of being caught. May just nodded, a flawless plan from the most unpredictable ninja. When will you leave? Naruto frowned at this. It wasn't like he enjoyed leaving Kiri and May, but he had to do this. He took off his mask, revealing his sorrowful blue eyes to her emerald one, leaning down to kiss her, one she readily accepted. It was soft and loving, but it was too short for May. She would be without him for some time, and she would worry every day. Naruto stroked her cheek and thought over when it would be best to leave. I'll leave in an hour. That would give us enough time for proper goodbyes. Naruto's whispered last part, wagging his eyebrows at the red-headed woman. May perked up immediately at the sound of that, and even though she liked to think of herself as tame when it came to sex, she would take up any offer of it from Naruto she could get, especially now um, that she was going to that he was going on a life-threatening mission. Well, what are we waiting for, lover boy? An invitation? Naruto smirked one last time, picking up the Mizukage in a bridle hold. She was as light as a toy compared to his broadsword. I was just waiting for you, Mayheim, and with that the two shunshined away to Terami Estate, where the real fun could begin. Nice. Naruto's getting some girl. Oh, oh, Kate, this is a lemon, I guess. I will be reading this, I guess. Tiramisu Estate, bedchambers, lemon alert. Naruto reappeared, holding May directly in front of their bed, and he practically threw her onto it, feeling the tightness in his pants get more and more unbearable. May giggled at his excitement. Even though she sometimes preferred to be dominant during their fun time, she could also handle Naruto taking the lead, just this once. Naruto jumped onto the bed and tackled her, sending his tongue crashing into her mouth, tasting and exploring all she had to offer. May moaned into the aggressive kiss, enjoying the feeling, coupled with Naruto's roaming hands. One had already landed on her breast, with the other held at her bottom. May pushed away the. Actually, 1 second, I need to get timestamp. Okay, around 30 minutes. May pushed away and got on top, quickly stripping him of his armor and other dangerous weapons, starting with his giant sword, no pun intended. Naruto was just briefly stiffening or stifling a laugh as he watched Mei tear away his ninja gear and outfit, her anxiousness practically pouring off of her. Naruto didn't stop his ministrations, however. His hand moved from her breast to her zipper, and he unzipped it as quickly as he could, feeling the fire in anticipation for what was coming. Mei finally got off everything, but Naruto's boxers. Oh, May finally got off everything but Naruto's boxers, and frisked at her Uzumaki man, his head muscles glistening, free from the closed cage that barely hid them from her gaze. To begin with, Her hand moved up and down his chest, tracing every little detail, while slowly moving to the hem of his black boxers. Naruto was already twitching in anxious excitement. Oh, Hunter-san, I think someone needs a little relief before his big mission. Let me help with that. Naruto saw her game and smirked even under the great pressure he felt in his groin. I could use some of your special treatment, Mizukage-sama. It is a dangerous mission after all. May lowered his boxer and took his member into her hand, massaging it and his sack to get him ready for their favorite parts. But May's eyes widened when she felt herself lifted and twisted around, her rear now facing Naruto, clothed only in her fishnet suit. Being the Mizukage would um, must be extremely stressful. Allow me to pay you back. Naruto aggressively ripped off her bodysuit, revealing in freeing her skin, unhindered from clothing. May moaned when he first began to lick her outer fold, quieting herself by placing her mouth over his shaft, lightly sucking on the head before enveloping more and more of him into her hungry mouth. Naruto's moan from the work caused him to wrestle in pressure from his tongue as it shot further inside of her core, feeling and massaging her inner walls. May began to hum from her current situation, his member touching the back of her throat. The vibration caused Naruto to twitch and feel his hand come near. Two can play at this game, Mayhem. Uh, Naruto allowed his tongue to desperately search for a specific piece of his woman's autonomy, and upon finding the nub, launched a surprise attack that caused May to immediately lose their little competition. Naruto greedily began to drink her juices that flowed from her warm inside, intensely enjoying the flavor combined with May's desperate action to his member. Upon feeling another humming vibration sent his woman's throat, Naruto could no longer hold back and felt himself released into his woman's mouth. May laughed up his seat, swallowing as much as she could, doing her best not to let any spill. Her stomach felt warm from the salty substance as it finished to trip down her throat. But she couldn't revel in it for long, because Naruto had once again switched their roles. She would now lay on her back with Naruto above her, poised to enter. Are you ready, Mayheim? May smiled and nodded, feeling a thrilling spike of pleasure as Naruto slowly entered her, one hand gripping her hip and the other massaging her breast. She voiced these feelings though, loud moans that resonated throughout the room, and Naruto groaned at how wonderful being inside her felt. So fucking warm, May, you're so tight. May grabbed Naruto's head and brought him in for a hungry kiss, attacking him with her tongue. She felt a surge of pleasure every time her tongue would prick itself against his sharpened teeth, the pain easily forgotten. Naruto broke the kiss and continued to ram into her, moving his head down to her breast and gently nipping and sucking at her hardened nipples. Oh, Naruto Koi, that feels so fucking good. Oh no, that feels so fucking good. Ah, May screamed as Naruto's as, as I don't know the word. Espially pushed far into her, a mix of pleasure and pain that exited from his teeth biting her nip, from his teeth biting her nipples. Fuck, Mayheim, I can't. May just enveloped his torso with her legs and kept him inside, wanting to feel the warmth of his seed inside her again. Do it! I want to feel your seed flow inside me. Naruto did as the Mizukage asked, his cum shooting into her womb, making her feel underlying pleasure as she reached her end as well. Naruto, they're screaming this I think. Naruto, May, see they came. Anyways, some time had passed and Naruto began to relax, his pleasure climax coming to an end. He saw that Maid had pleasantly passed out from their intimate action, not a common sight. Usually she lasts for at least 4 rounds, and that's when that's when I go nice and slow too. 1 second. 39. Oh wow, this chapter is longer. Oh, it's about to be done. Naruto checked the cloak and found that they had been in bed together. Checked the clock and found that they had been in bed together no more than 30 minutes, giving him some time to prepare himself. Naruto picked up the naked Uzumaki woman and laid her to rest under their bed sheets, stroking her hair and feeling her soft skin one last time before he departed. He gathered his scattered clothes and equipment and moved to his old room. now storage area, that he used to prepare himself for mission. Naruto quickly placed his clothing and armor back on, emptying out his empty pouches and taking stock of what he would bring. Broadsword, check. 23-pronged kunai with a Hirshin seal, check. Smoke bombs, explosive tags, and wire, check. Provisions for the trip and other simple survival gear and scroll, check. Naruto stowed away his chosen equipment so far and decided that from the upcoming battle would very well be the most dangerous he had ever been involved in yet. He decided to take his prototypes. Naruto the picked up the two odd-looking metal objects, both having straps that would um, be attached tightly around his wrist. Both looked like simple Uzumaki's world. Naruto smiled and double-checked the integral part of the design, sending a small amount of chakra into each world center, smiling upon seeing the elaborate seals light up. The Uzumaki prototype, something I have been working on the the years since training began. The two circle-shaped seals fastened to my wrist, and I feel is this? Never mind. And I and with them I can deflect dangerous techniques and absorb chakra into my own system, using the blocking technique absorption seal. I haven't been able to test them out yet, but now would definitely be the time to do so. If they work, we'll score one for the Uzumaki clan ingenuity. Naruto fashioned the devices to his wrist now, lest he forgets them in the heat of battle. He arrived in river, his checklist completed. Naruto placed his hunter nin mask and over his face and moved back into the bedroom to check on May. She lay there just where he had left her, a slight frown adorning her features. She had always looked like this when he didn't sleep with her. No doubt she would be pissed whenever she woke up, but he had to leave now if he wanted to get there in time. Naruto moved to her bedside and lifted up his mask slightly, revealing his lower face. He laid a gentle kiss on her forehead and rubbed her cheeks one last time before walking out without a single word. He moved down the stairs and saw the two Embu guards uh, waiting for him outside without a single word. Wait, what? No, waiting for him, um, waiting with their ceremonial pikes, saluting him as he walked by. Good luck, sir. We will protect the Mizukage while you're away. Naruto smiled under his mask and opted for shaking both guards' hands instead of saluting, something that shocked the two. Thank you. I promise to return as soon as possible. Be safe, my friends. And Naruto was gone, in a vortex of water, leaving Kiri and his fiancée to go rescue a friend. Someone who desperately needed help. Sorry, my nose is stuffy, and like when I'm talking for a while, I just like feel spit building up in my mouth. I hate it. Konoha front gate, current time. Alright, Jiraiya, you'll be. Oh, I shouldn't. That was not the right tone. Alright, Jiraiya, you will be in overall command of this operation. The mission parameters are to rescue Kazekage and defeat the Akatsuki interlopes. Move out. The three-man squad and Jiraiya disappeared in a blur, leaving Tsunade and Shizune standing at the gate, wistful look on their faces. Naruto should be with them. He should be saving Kazekage. I'm not sure what to do anymore. Shizune didn't know what to say to that. Tsunade was impossible to read anymore, even for her own student. No matter what she tried to do, what she tried to say or do, Tsunade could never come out of this depression unless anything short of Naruto coming back to the village happened. Her only way of coping so far was to hide behind her Kage hat, immersing herself into her work more more so than ever now. Jiraiya, Jiraiya, Shizune noticed, had also changed. No longer was he a cheerful old pervert. He wore his serious, stern expression upon his face all the time. He refused to write or research any longer, even over Kakashi's protests. Sakura was merely a shell of her former self, rarely speaking a word to anyone. Rarely could anyone get her to smile. Sometimes Shizune doubted bringing Sasuke back would even dull the pain the young girl felt, and she wondered sometimes if Naruto really did think out his plan to leave with everyone's feeling in mind. Fire Country, Fire Country first. Current time. Since leaving the village, the 3 days out so far were mainly spent running by Naruto. He could not stop himself from moving, nor did he want to. As far as he could tell, he had reached the coast of Fire Country yesterday. Planting a seal on the tree there, and following it with another seal every 5 miles or so, currently, or every 5 miles or so. Currently, Naruto is moving full speed towards river country, keeping his eyes open for the first sign of plains, signifying his entry into the grass country, a border state, a border state of Suna and close neighbor of River. The only thing keeping him from keeping him up was pure determination. He had told himself he would not rest until he reached River. Only then would he sleep to get some rest before the battle. His thought, his only thoughts were on reaching Gara in time, and exactly how best to mutilate the Akatsuki he had found with him. Hang on, Gara, I'm coming. Done. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter, and yeah, so I'm sorry for a lot of stuttering. I'm still like getting back into the flow of what ifs. 'Cause, like on my main channel, I like just pretty much stopped uploading. So yeah, I'm still getting to the flow of what ifs, and it's kind of late. Not too late though. This will probably be uploaded tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, or honestly maybe tonight, or maybe right now. I mean, because like it's 11:30. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this fanfic, and this episode, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Goodbye.